Hello, and a very warm welcome to Weirdo.Rocks. Today is day 46 of my 90 days content challenge. My name is Leo Brunhofer, and I'm gonna talk about finding your perfect work environment while traveling. I will talk about co-working spaces, cafes, working from your own apartment, and my experiences and thoughts about this. I was working a lot out from co-working spaces in Vienna mainly, but sometimes also on travel. For example, in Koh Lanta, there is a great, in Thailand, there is a great co-working space with great people there, mostly entrepreneurs or freelancers who are doing their own stuff. It can be really valuable to be there motivational wise. You have fast internet most of the time, which is not always so easy if you're on traveling, if you need it for your business. And you also can meet great people there. My experiences are going back to about 2004. I was joining a startup, doing my final exams, final master thesis there, and working at this startup for 2.5 years. And we were in one of the Frequentis incubation hubs where other Frequentis companies were able to work as well. So there were other startups, really interesting projects. But back then it was not so famous, not so popular to work in co-working spaces as it is now. I would have expected a little bit more, synergies with the other companies. Basically, we were all doing our own stuff. Those were companies, let's say, from 5 to 20 people, employees. So it was not so fruitful as I would expect before I was joining this. Then when I was founding my own company, came inside with Tom together, we started to working at home, to work on the prototype. We worked at his apartment, but then we also decided to find us an office space, and we also went for another co-working space in Vienna. It's Smart Spaces. They are really great. They have, I think, 3 or 4, maybe even 5 different co-working spaces in all over Vienna. Great founders of these co-working spaces. You have great internet there, so I really can recommend them. And we decided for the co-working spaces because, as many startups are, didn't know how fast we will grow within the next couple of months or years. So we needed some space that could grow with us together. So it didn't make sense for us to find a small apartment or small office. For 2, it would be okay, but we didn't know if we will grow to 10 people, 50 people, 100 people, maybe within 1 or 2 years. And it happened like we expected, or we were growing to 14 people, and there in the co-working space, you just can add space as you need. I mean, it depends on the co-working space, of course, but in their space, there was enough space left that we could grow up to 14 people. It's not the most inexpensive way to rent a co-working space for such a big team, but if you compare it with the hustle that you have with renting a regular office, and then if you outgrow the office to find a new one, to pay the provisions and stuff, it's still worth it, I would say, until you know how many people are working there. Okay, this was more the stationary thing. We also with Task Till Done, we also started to work out from my apartment. Then we rented an apartment where we also made our own little co-working space. So sometimes people were working there as well, and joining us in our office to work from there. Now on the trips, when I'm on longer trips, like now and this 3 weeks vacation, I differently choose my location and my apartments compared to when I just go on holidays or vacation. I try to find some apartment most of the time where I also can work from nicely, with fast internet connection, maybe some other facilities in the house, coffees around, where I can get the most needed things to be productive, quiet environment maybe. Here we also have a pool, which is also really nice, and the gym to do a workout in the morning before I get started, starting the day, maybe going to the pool and relaxing a little bit, or also in the evening. So everything is prepared to have a productive environment. So I also really like if it's a nice environment, so that I really feel good and I really enjoy time. I don't care if I spend the day in the apartment and work from there. It's of course personal preference. I also love to work from cafes. Even when I had my office in Vienna 1 or 2 days a week for a couple of hours, I decide to go to my favorite working cafes where I can work from. I like to be sometimes too inspired, surrounded by people, and it doesn't affect my productivity. I just plug my earbuds in and work. It's not for everybody, I'm aware of that, but I was training this for a long time since when I was studying. My daughter Julia was born as well, and we were living in a real small apartment, so I got used to learn from the library or from some public cafes, and also learn with not so quiet environment. With coworking spaces, as I said, I think it's a good idea, maybe especially if you start to be surrounded with people who are like-minded, community, maybe even it depends on the co-working space. There are other companies where there could be some synergies project-wise as well. If you're a freelancer, sometimes they need some graphic designer or however, and you can work together or even find maybe some orders there. Don't expect too much in this area, but it can happen. And also, most of the time, the co-working spaces are designed to be open rooms. It's great if you're not easily distracted, but also depends on the people who are sitting there. If they're having phone calls all the time, it can be disturbing as well, negative towards your productivity. So take care or check out first if you have some quiet places, rooms where you can find a place where you can do your deep work, your focused work. So also on the trips, if we are getting we don't like to work in our apartments anymore where we are staying, just pick a co-working cafe or a regular cafe with a good internet and the plug for your laptop, electricity, and you're ready to go. It's can be really change of location, can be really inspiring as well. But also use it careful. Sometimes it's also a good excuse to do nothing since you are more moving than working. So I really would suggest to find your own nice apartment maybe, or a co-working space, yeah, where you can focus and be productive. Yes, I think that were my 50 cents to co-working spaces. If you have any questions, of course, you can comment or write the questions under the video. I will try to answer them as soon as possible. If you like the video, I'm really happy about every like, and of course also about subscriptions. If you think this video or this channel is something for your friends as well, then yeah, please share. Sharing is caring. And I wish you a good evening, good day, and we see each other tomorrow. Bye.